Good afternoon, everyone who have joined us today online. Welcome to the 4th Princess Maha Chakri Award ceremony. My name is Tin Siribodi, and I will be your master of the ceremony today. We are now broadcasting live by Facebook, YouTube, and the National Broadcasting Services of Thailand. And you can go to the worldwideweb.pmca.or.th to view it live broadcast. The 4th Princess Maha Chakri Award ceremony today is a very important event for teachers in Southeast Asia, particularly 11 special teachers today. And these special teachers are from Southeast Asia, ASEAN, and Timor Leste. The 4th Princess Maha Chakri Award ceremony, which is held today, will be organized, followed by the regional conference on teacher and equitable education, all for education for Southeast Asia. The conference is co-organized by the Princess Maha Chakri Award Foundation, the Equitable Education Fund, together with international organizations such as UNICEF, UNESCO, CMEO, and Save the Children. You can also watch the broadcast live of the conference at World Wide Web or http afe22021.eef.or.th tomorrow all day. So for many of you who have not yet familiar with the Princess Maha Chakri Award Foundation, the Princess Award is set up in 2015 in recognition of Her Royal Highness' dedication to education, not only in Thailand, but over 10 countries around the world. The 4th awarding ceremony today, it will begin at 2:30 p.m. So before the award ceremony begin, I would like to show you the video of Her Royal Highness Princess Maha Chakri Sirinthorn work and the 40 years of Her Royal Highness work in the development and in education, and how Her Royal Highness helped children, particularly in the disadvantaged area, giving them equal opportunity.
Her Royal Highness Princess Maha Chakri Sirinthorn has paid great attention to the development of disadvantaged children and youth so that they will have equal opportunities and a better quality of life. This special attention came about as a result of her decent upbringing under the care of the royal parents, His Majesty King Bhumibol Adulyadej the Great and Her Majesty Queen Sirikit, the Queen Mother, as well as the royal grandmother, Her Royal Highness Princess Nakarintara. She looked up to them as role models in learning principles and methods of working for the people. Seeing people living in poverty, Her Royal Highness realizes that she has a more comfortable life than them and wishes to offer a helping hand. When she accompanied the royal parents to rural remote areas, Her Royal Highness often received her homework assignments to deal with various problems. In so doing, she has become well aware of the state of being deprived and facing scarcity and thought about tackling these problems. That was the reason why Her Royal Highness has accumulated experience and collected relevant information before launching royal development projects. Her Royal Highness Princess Maha Chakri Sirinthorn always extends loving kindness to children and youth. She found that many children and youth in disadvantaged remote areas suffered from malnutrition with poor health and lack of educational opportunities. Her Royal Highness then started with launching the Agriculture for School Lunch project on a trial basis in 1980 at 3 Border Patrol police schools in the western part of Thailand. At that time, many areas in the region were very far away and difficult to access. After 1 year operations, the project produced good results. Her Royal Highness decided to expand this project to other Border Patrol police schools across the country. The expansion led to the start of 8 royally initiated projects to enhance the quality of life in schools. In 1992, Her Royal Highness Princess Maha Chakri initiated the start of the Development Plan for Children and Youth in Remote Areas, which has been carried out on a continual basis. Later, the plan has been expanded to cover more than 800 schools across Thailand. Apart from Border Patrol police schools, it has also been implemented in many other schools under the supervision of the Office of the Basic Education Commission, Ministry of Education. In addition, Her Royal Highness has also opened new educational institutions in deprived communities. The objectives are to upgrade the quality of life of children and youth, as well as developing education quality and enhancing the potential of schools as learning centers for development towards communities. Throughout 40 years of work to achieve education quality for poor and disadvantaged children and youth, Her Royal Highness has attached great importance to the use of schools as the base for several dimensions of development. She has provided equal educational opportunities for impoverished young people in remote areas by developing knowledge together with promoting good health and quality of life. Aware of the need to develop education quality for disadvantaged children, Her Royal Highness has graciously granted scholarships to students under the royal sponsorship to provide them with opportunities for further studies at a higher level. The royal support helps change the lives of many school children who have now become the citizens of high quality in their communities, society, and the country as a whole.
เป็นนักเรียนในพระราชานุเคราะห์เมื่อเป็นแล้วก็เป็นตลอดชีวิตเราเนี่ยก็คืออยู่โรงเรียนตชด.มาตั้งแต่เด็กๆได้รับความเมตตาจากพระองค์ท่านเหมือนกับทุกสิ่งทุกอย่างก็คือปลูกฝังเรามาตั้งแต่เด็กๆ
After having graduated with a bachelor's degree in the field of communicative English from the University of Calcutta in India, Hayasanibu applied to be a teacher at a boarding school in her hometown in Songkhla province. She was entrusted with taking care of 10 categories of disadvantaged children, as well as children affected by unrest in the southern border provinces of Thailand. Because of her deep gratitude for the benevolence of Her Royal Highness, who selected her as one of the scholarship recipients to study in India under royal sponsorship, Miss Hayas decided to keep some amount she had received from the Royal Scholarship Program. She returned it to Her Royal Highness so that the money would be granted to the next group of students under the royal sponsorship. The royal initiatives of Her Royal Highness Princess Maha Chakri are well balanced and inclusive. Her Royal Highness places importance on the group of people who have impacts on the learning of children and youth. She is concerned about the quality of life and living conditions of teachers, especially those in small schools who are facing difficulties in teaching management. The problem is caused by an inadequate number of teachers because of their frequent transfer to other places. It also leads to the lack of continuity and thus resulting in students being unable to read and write. Their academic performance is also low. Her Royal Highness helps ease the shortage of teachers. With her royal initiatives, teaching and learning media have been introduced in the forms of older students helping younger students and friends helping friends. School children from different classes may study together. In so doing, more students can read and write. In times of crisis, when students and teachers in distant areas do not yet have access to teaching and learning technology, Her Royal Highness has introduced the distribution of Royal Aid packages for education to schools that first need to open and manage teaching and learning for students. The program is carried out by the Fund for the Development of Children and Youth in Remote Areas in the fight against the COVID-19 pandemic. Her Royal Highness realizes that literacy is the starting point of opportunities for the development of children's quality of life. The program will provide teaching aids for teachers and helps boost their morale so that they will be able to work with greater efficiency. Aware of the importance of quality teachers in building quality human resources, Her Royal Highness has promoted the development of teachers, aiming for developing education quality. She graciously grants scholarships to teacher education students who will develop children and youth in their hometown after their graduation.
พระองค์ท่านที่เดินปั๊บเนี่ยท่านจะเด็กเชื่อจดมาเลยว่าแล้วตรงไหนที่มีปัญหาหรืออะไรต่างๆก็มาถกเถียงหรือว่ามาคุยกันในนี้จะแก้ปัญหายังไงให้หน่วยงานการว่าจะช่วยหรือว่าใครรับผิดชอบตรงนี้ช่วยหน่อยคือพระองค์ติดตามงานทุกเรื่องที่พระองค์ได้ผ่านสายตามาเสด็จรอบแรกปั๊บเนี่ยแล้วพระองค์เนี่ยก็จะถามตลอดเลยว่าเรื่องนั้นเป็นยังไงแล้วเสร็จหรือยังแก้ปัญหาได้ยัง
With her perseverance, efforts, and dedication, Her Royal Highness has continued to work in promoting educational quality throughout the 40-year period. All Thai people can feel that Her Royal Highness always puts her heart into everything she does. The benevolence of Her Royal Highness Princess Maha Chakri Sirinthorn has been extended to not only Thai people and children, but also to the people in neighboring countries. Her Royal Highness has offered assistance to 107 schools in 10 countries. She intends to develop the people's quality of life through royal initiatives so that they will have good health and better living conditions. Her Royal Highness has worked devotedly for the benefit of the people. Her achievements are evident, and they have been admired and recognized by the world community, especially her assistance for disadvantaged children and youth. In 2005, Her Royal Highness Princess Maha Chakri Sirinthorn was appointed UNESCO Goodwill Ambassador for the empowerment of minority children and through the preservation of their intangible cultural heritage. Later in 2018, the United Nations Children's Fund, or UNICEF, presented a Lifetime Achievement Award to Her Royal Highness for her significant contributions for improving the lives of children in Thailand, especially the most disadvantaged. Throughout her 40 years of work for disadvantaged children and youth, Her Royal Highness has played a leading role in reducing educational inequality with her wide vision, perseverance, and firm intention. More importantly, Her Royal Highness is recognized as the educator princess and a role model in working to make education equal for all.
So what you have just seen is the video of Her Royal Highness Princess Maha Chakri Sirinthorn's 40 years of work in education and in development, and how Her Royal Highness bring about equity in education for children not only in Thailand, but for more than 10 countries all over the world. Her Royal Highness is an educator, a development advocate, and above all, an excellent teacher. And because of that, we name the Princess Maha Chakri Award under Her Royal Highness in recognition of Her Royal Highness' contribution. For many of you who have not yet familiar with the Princess Maha Chakri Award, may I now present to you another interesting video about the Princess Maha Chakri Award and the activities of the foundation and how the foundation plays a very unique role in teachers' lives all over Southeast Asia. The Princess Maha Chakri Award was established to celebrate Her Royal Highness Princess Maha Chakri Sirinthorn's dedication to education for children and youth over the past 30 years. The award is also a celebration of the teaching profession as a highly esteemed profession.
Every 2 years, teachers who change the lives of their students and make valuable contributions to educational development from ASEAN countries and Timor-Leste are selected as recipients of the Princess Maha Chakri Award, and as such will receive the awards from Her Royal Highness Princess Maha Chakri Sirinthorn. Her Royal Highness has been widely recognized by international organizations as an advocate for quality education for all people. All recipients of the Princess Maha Chakri Award are the pride of Southeast Asia. The Princess Maha Chakri Award Foundation has received full cooperation from the Ministry of Education and the Royal Thai Embassies in ASEAN countries and Timor-Leste in the selection process.
The Princess Maha Chakri Award Foundation empowers the teacher who received the award to continue making change in students' lives in many ways. This initiative has drawn interest and received a positive response from the public and private sectors in ASEAN and Timor-Leste.
The support and facilitation of 2 study visits for the Cambodian awardees of the Princess Maha Chakri Award, as well as the school administrators and teachers from various schools in Cambodia to learn about school management in Thailand.
The study visit to the special needs schools in Thailand of the awardees of the Princess Maha Chakri Award and the teachers from Brunei Darussalam. The visit received great support from the Thai community living in Brunei Darussalam through the coordination and facilitation from the Princess Maha Chakri Award Foundation. The teachers learn about approaches and teaching methods for special needs students. They also receive support from a special needs children toy company, Blix Pop, in providing an indoor playground set.
The foundation supports science teachers awardees from Indonesia, Malaysia, and Thailand, an opportunity to share knowledge and experience in academic forums. This gives them a great opportunity to showcase their work to a wider group of audience.
During the visit by the Foundation Committee to Indonesia, a mini-forum was organized in cooperation with the Southeast Asian Ministers of Education Organization, or CMU, at the Royal Thai Embassy to promote the work of Princess Maha Chakri awardees from Indonesia and Malaysia. This event received great support from 6 CMU regional centers in Indonesia.
Another activity is supported by CMU Simolek in Indonesia, where the teachers share their teaching techniques and experiences via online distance learning system. Princess Maha Chakri Award Foundation has a network of nearly 300 Thai teachers who share the same aspiration for education development. The foundation has received support from the private sector to enhance teachers' work in various ways. For example, the Midpon Group, the largest sugar manufacturer in Thailand, support a study visit to their facilities which practice integrated green agro-industry, so that the teachers could further share these innovative ideas with their students and inspire their creativity.
The foundation encourages hands-on experience by arranging a study visit to Myanmar for leading history and traditional performing arts awardee teachers to have in-depth knowledge of its context. This activity received support from CMO Chat, the Royal Thai Embassy, and private sector in Myanmar.
In addition, the Thai Health Promotion Foundation provides support to the Princess Maha Chakri Award Foundation to scale up the work of teachers within the Princess Maha Chakri Award network through the project on learning for health promotion and a project to share lessons learned and experience in order to find inspiration as teachers and to pass down the knowledge and wisdom of senior teachers to student teachers and the new generation of teachers.
The Teachers Council of Thailand also recognizes the awardees by inviting them to be resource persons in several activities organized by the Teachers Council of Thailand.
The quality of education depends on the quality of teachers, and the quality of teachers will shape the quality of people. Princess Maha Chakri Award, the prestigious award for the teaching.
So what you have just seen is the story of Princess Maha Chakri Award and the journey of the 33 recipients of Princess Maha Chakri Foundation. For this year, the 4th Princess Maha Chakri Award ceremony, we will have 11 distinguished or outstanding teachers joining with the other 33 outstanding teachers from Southeast Asia. These teachers, they are true heroes because they do their work with their heart, commitment, and dedication over the years, they have looked at their children. They ensure that their students have not only well educated, but they're able to function in the world. And I have witnessed their practices throughout the years. They are definitely my heroes. And today, this is a special event for them. And now, I would like all of you to wait for the arrival of Her Royal Highness Princess Maha Chakri Sirinthorn.
Your Royal Highness, may I express my gratitude to Your Royal Highness for graciously presiding over the 4th Princess Maha Chakri Award ceremony, which has been organized back-to-back with the Regional Conference on Equitable Education Teachers, all for education in Southeast Asia. It is widely accepted that Your Royal Highness have been contributed greatly to the development of the country, especially in the area of education, healthcare, art, and culture. In regards to education, Thai people have profound appreciation to Your Royal Highness' long-standing effort to support and help children in remote areas and vulnerable groups to access quality education. Many royal projects have been initiated by Your Royal Highness to improve people's quality of life with the highest aim of combating illiteracy, reducing inequality, and enhancing access to education for all. In addition to undertaking programs in Thailand, Your Royal Highness' collaboration with other countries and international organizations have long been recognized at national, regional, and global levels. As Minister of Education, I would like to express my full commitment and effort to follow your guidance in delivering consistent and quality educational service efficiently for all Thai people while ensuring the good health, safety, and well-being of students and teachers in school nationwide. Your Royal Highness, in the past year, the education ecosystem globally was heavily impacted by COVID-19, and schools had to make a new arrangement with facilities to accommodate new learning atmosphere. During the time, many initiatives were implemented to ensure that learning will not stop. Teachers are being supported as well by giving them access to different technologies and training on how to utilize them in their teaching. However, we cannot allow school to be closed any longer. We have planned to reopen the schools in full force in November and has already rolled out COVID-19 vaccines in high school students and teachers nationwide to prepare school to be open safely. We believe that teacher is the heart of recovery of our education system and play a significant role in supporting the social, economics, and cultural life of society. The policy on teacher development is already highlighted in many policy states to empower teachers to attain the necessary skill to reach their full potential. And on this occasion, I would like to congratulate all teachers who have been selected as Prince Maha Chakri Award recipients. They have truly played a major role in the personality development of children by molding them into the productive member of society. To conclude, I would like to express my deep gratitude to the Princess Maha Chakri Award Foundation Committee for their organization of the Princess Maha Chakri Award ceremony, honoring highly dedicated teachers in Southeast Asia. Their accomplishments have certainly made significant contributions to education and human development. Now, I would like to invite Dr. Krishnapong Kiratikon, Chairman of Prince Maha Chakri Award Foundation, to report Your Royal Highness on the organization of the 4th Princess Maha Chakri Award ceremony and its related events. May it please Your Royal Highness.
Your Royal Highness, I am Krishnapong Kiratikon, Chairman of the Princess Maha Chakri Award Foundation. May I take this opportunity to report to Your Highness salient points of the Foundation and the awarding ceremony as follows. Since the establishment of the Princess Maha Chakri Award in 2015, the Foundation has organized the awarding ceremony every other year. The first awarding ceremony was in 2015, the second one in 2017, the third one in 2019, respectively. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic prohibiting the recipients to travel, the fourth awarding ceremony this year has to be held online. Today, the 2021 Princess Maha Chakri Award recipients, the Thai ambassadors, high officials of the Ministry of Education are present in audience of Your Highness at the Royal Thai Embassy in their respective country. Under normal circumstances, after Your Highness approved the nomination of the 11 Princess Maha Chakri Award recipients from ASEAN and Timor-Leste, committee members of the Foundation would visit the 11 recipients at their schools. With the new normal, the Foundation has conducted visits with them online, while online sessions called Getting to Know You, to meet and learn more about these outstanding teachers and their work. This year, back-to-back with the fourth awarding ceremony, the Foundation also co-organizes the regional conferences on equitable education and teachers of education in Southeast Asia online, together with the Equitable Education Fund on the 30th of October 2021. The Equitable Education Fund has been following Your Royal Highness's footsteps in helping the disadvantaged by providing on an annual basis 300 scholarships named by Your Highness for teachers in remote areas, and over 2,000 scholarships for technical vocational students to pursue high professional level and development. The Foundation also works closely with the Equitable Education Fund in supporting over 600 Thai teachers in the Princess Maha Chakri Award Network to continue their professional development, scale up their excellent practices to students and fellow teachers. Throughout the years, the Foundation has received full support from various ministries, namely the Ministry of Interior Thailand, Ministry of Education of the 11 countries in selecting the best teachers, and especially this year, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Royal Thai Embassy of the 10 countries in coordinating with the recipients and hosting the event together with the Foundation today. In this regard, may I now present Your Highness the 11 Princess Maha Chakri Award recipients of 2021. May I call upon the 2021 Princess Maha Chakri Award recipients as follows. Brunei Darussalam, Pengiran Haji Muhammad Wahab bin Pengiran Haji Abdullah. Pengiran Wahab is a technical instructor at the School of Hospitality and Tourism, IBTE Sultan Saiful Rizal campus. He teaches food production, restaurant operations, catering events operations, and creative culinary operations. Cambodia, Nai Chondari. Kru Chondari is a primary school teacher at Gua Mingli Drogabel. He applies several methods with focus on helping the students to acquire the 21st century skills and has adopted his child-centered approach. Indonesia, Nang Sao Korea. Kru Korea is a science teacher at SMP Negari 32, Bandar Lampung Junior High School. She is one of the leaders in teaching science, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic. She produces many science education publications and learning tools for Indonesia schools. Lao PDR นางแสงเพชรคูณประเสริฐ ครูแสงเพชร is the Deputy Technical and Head of Physics Subject at Udomchai Provincial Secondary School, Udomchai Province. She develops the physics curriculum for grade 7 and distributes to 14 schools around the district. Malaysia, Naino Ahilmi Abdul Muttalib. Kru Muttalib is a science teacher at the SMK Jaran Secondary School, Kedah. He has extensive experience in creative teaching for STEM and the 21st century learning skill. He integrates technology and social media in his teaching. Myanmar, Najor Sin Ong. Rujor Sin Ong is an English teacher at number 8 Basic Education High School, Laichur, Northern Chan State. He uses himself as a role model and uses experiential-based learning with his students to help them learn English. The Philippines, Nai Marcelo T. Otinke. Kru Marcelo T. Otinke is head teacher of the Governor Bado Dangwa Agro-Industrial School in Kapangan, Bengue. His motto is, "Life is a service." He leads different school and community development projects to help the local communities. Singapore, Nayok Jun Ming. Kruyok Jun Ming is the head of English Language and Social Studies Department at Yuneng Primary School. His major accomplishments include introduction of ICT into teaching and learning, computational thinking and coding into the school curriculum, as spearheading a high-progress multidisciplinary program, the Future Minds program. Timor-Leste, Mr. Vicente Macal da Silva. Vicente Macal da Silva is a school principal at Ensino Central, Tiri Lolo, Macau. Throughout his career, he has been involved in several projects which promote education in Timor-Leste. เวียดนามนางสาวหาฟันเหืองอันเฟืองครูหาอันเฟือง is an English teacher at Heung Kan High School. As an ethnic minority Mueang teacher living in mountainous area of Vietnam, she brings ethnic students to connect to the world to become global citizens. Thailand นางสาวประทินเลี่ยมจำรูนครูประทิน is a technical vocational teacher from Phang Nga Technical College. She dedicates her time and life to help vulnerable students and give them opportunity to vocational skills to improve the quality of life. She worked closely with the Phang Nga community after the 2004 tsunami and helped them get back to their lives after the disaster. May I now call upon the high officials from the Ministry of Education of 11 Southeast Asian countries to receive the token of appreciation. May I now call upon the ambassadors of the 10 Southeast Asian countries and Governor of Phang to receive the token of appreciation. May I now invite Your Highness to deliver an address to the 4th PMCA awarding ceremony and to give a self-lecture on teachers and equitable foundation. May it please Your Royal Highness.
It is my great pleasure to preside over the 4th Princess Maha Chakri Award ceremony. I would like to congratulate the 11 awardees of the 2021 Princess Maha Chakri Award for their significant contributions as they have shaped the students for better future of our nation and region. I am also pleased that the award ceremony has been organized back-to-back with the regional conference on equitable education and teachers, all for education and in Southeast Asia. This conference will emphasize the important role of teachers in ensuring quality learning for all, especially during the pandemic. Therefore, I would like to pass on to all the participants my best wishes for a successful conference. The role of teachers will also be enhanced on World Teachers' Day, which is held every year on October 5th to ensure that the needs of future generations will continue to be met by teachers. Its celebration underlines the eminently valuable role of teachers in society and the challenges they face in trying to foster the learning of students to ensure that learning never stops and no one is left behind. In most countries, COVID-19 lockdowns have great impact, not only on health, social, and economic aspects, but also on education. Modern technology helps make possible a blended learning model involving online, on-site, and on-air learning. Nevertheless, committed and capable teachers remain the critical factor in making a child ready for the future. Teachers shape their students' academic goals and dedicate themselves to motivating their students to achieve them. Today, teachers are responsible for further developing their own skills to adapt to the new normal brought about by the COVID-19 pandemic. They must also put extreme efforts into ensuring that students will be able to continue their education in a safe and healthy environment. In so doing, teachers have made a crucial contribution to ensuring continuity of learning and supporting mental health and well-being of their students. In light of this, I was pleased to learn that the 11 awardees for this year are teachers who have devoted their lives to inspire and empower their students to achieve great things and grow up to be upstanding citizens. I look forward to congratulating them today. On this occasion, I would like to thank the Ministry of Education and the high officials from all 11 countries, including the committee members of the Princess Maha Chakri Award Foundation, and relevant education partners for their hard work to make the fourth award ceremony a great success. I would also like to thank the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Thai embassies of ASEAN and Timor-Leste for their hard work and dedication in organizing this event. I wish everyone a great success in all your future endeavors. Thank you very much. Hello, everybody. In the circumstances of COVID-19 pandemic, all we can do is to try to make sure that our young people have enough knowledge for the future, at the same time are safe from the virus. We have to make sure that they have an opportunity to study and to have good food. Under the circumstance, those who have computers and access to the internet find online education the best possible solution during COVID-19 pandemic, though it is not totally convenient in the remote areas where online education is not possible. The situation is even worse. I would like to share with you what are the ways civil society has been done in trying to manage education in those cases. A decade ago, there was a very bad flood in the central part of Thailand. Many organizations, including the private sectors, donated survival bags to the flood victims. To give you an idea of what were in the survival bags, we packed the bag with what we had in our stock. t-shirt, shampoo, soap, toothpaste, toothbrushes, a bag of rice, 3 cans of spicy fried mackerel with chili sauce, 3 cans of spicy mackerels, 3 cans of mackerel in tomato sauce, 3 cans of spicy clams, 3 cans of Chinese herbal eggs and chickens or kai palo, 6 packs of instant noodle, men's bathing apparel, pakama, and black bags for collecting garbage. At that time, I had an idea that there should have been something else in the bags for the children. So I added more things in the bags and give to the children what I call survival bags for education. This bag includes some school textbooks, teaching media, exercise books, stationeries, and drawing and painting set. Teachers, volunteers, and even monks rowed boats to give students homework, to change books, and to bring more supplies to students. Since the first wave of the pandemic, when only TV and computer-supported lessons were available, I donated both survival bags and survival bags for education to the children, adding more items such as masks, alcohol gel, or substance for COVID-19 protection. The bag also contained vegetable seeds. I bought plain paper and exercise books for the children, but some people managed to ask for donation of one-side use A4 paper to make handmade notebooks with pretty drawings on the covers as nice gifts for the children. They call themselves the Paper Rangers. Teachers and volunteers help make sure that each household and each child have good food and good education. In some family, the present generation of school children is their first literate members. That is why it is very difficult to expect that the children's relatives can teach the children. Some schools can still provide food, and teachers can go to the children's home to teach, give the homework, and also food in foam boxes. I think the boxes may create pollution, so I try to use tiffins instead, in the same way that I did during the flood. I changed the temple pavilion or Sarakan Palian to be a kitchen and distribute food in tiffin with number. The next day, families cleaned their tiffin and came to get food for the next day. The teachers called themselves horseback teachers. In fact, most of them walk or ride their motorcycle to teach. Not only education that I focus on, my attention is also on children's health. Children should have well-balanced food in both quality and quantity, having protein, carbohydrates, starch, minerals, and vitamins. My purpose was to correct the iodine and iron deficiencies with food and tablets or pills. Following the advice of my American mentor, I have tried to take care of children at all age groups, starting from pregnant mothers, breastfeeding mothers, newborn babies up to 3 years old, 0 to 3 children, and those attending daycare center or kindergarten around 3 to 5 or 6 years old, up to primary levels and junior high and high school levels. I introduced school milk program. At first it was soy milk. Later cow milk is used because they tend to have more calcium. In school, I I use powder milk, but in other schools, UHT milk is used because it is easier to manage. But in fact, the cost go to the paper box, which is quite expensive. But the powder milk is less expensive, and we have more milk for the children in the same cost. I make sure that the children did not have worms in their intestines or lice on their heads, and that they had good oral hygiene. Sanitation is also an important issue. Teachers and health workers went to children's houses to advise their parents about health of the whole families. In the Border Patrol Police schools, with a small number of students, the teachers can still come to school to look after the school gardens. The teacher also bring homework and food to the children at home. In some village, it is very difficult to get to children's houses or health stations or hospitals. So I gave the Border Patrol Police schools some off-road four-wheel drive cars. With the off-road cars, now they can have better access to the children's houses. The off-roaders help the schools. Such cars can also be used to send sick people to the hospitals or to bring medical personnel to the villages. For years, I have given scholarships to children to continue their study at higher levels. They can continue their study as high as they can, and I am happy to see many of them becoming high-level professionals like medical doctors, teachers, nurses, and engineers, etc. At the peak of COVID, I was not allowed by doctors to leave home, so I can talk to those students only online from my place to the Border Patrol Police schools or in the students' dormitories, or sometimes to the students' home. I sent to the students that I sent to study abroad, which is mainly in India. Some students try to use their smartphones to study online, but many times they cannot because either the internet is not stable or no Wi-Fi available. In fact, children who live near the Border Patrol Police schools can use the school's computers. In one school, a teacher reported to me that the problem was that the electricity there was out once in a while. So it was not easy to use computers after all. I thought of using generators run by diesel. It is a bit expensive, but it helped children to study. There are some other ways. For example, buying notebook computers and iPad for the children. But I could not buy many computers myself because I don't have enough money to give computers to everyone. And the second reason is that during this time, it is not easy to buy computer at all, even we have money, because everybody wants computers or chips or the equipment for communication. So we have to fight also for the queue to get computers. But I know some people who sell computers, so I can get many of them after all. However, the project that I heard on a radio program might help. It is called Giving Computers to Younger Brothers and Sisters, in which people donate money and computers. Apart from the computers, I give textbook, paper textbook at junior high and high school levels to the primary school libraries for students and other people to enjoy them. They are very good and inspiring books, newly written and published. I like them a lot. Children should be taught to conserve their natural heritage. It is circumstance preserving water, soil, forest is very important. I also encourage local cultural activities such as music and dance for creative education and to protect their cultural heritage. During the COVID pandemic, this is very important, but I promote it by giving schools some musical instruments, but it is very difficult to have lessons in music and other kinds of art and culture. We may have to wait until the situation is much better, or maybe on the 1st of November that the minister have just said. Another example, military people also offered to help the schools and the children's family during the COVID crisis. They taught the children and their families how to grow vegetables and fruit trees, to raise fish and frogs, to practice animal husbandry, mainly raising poultry, pigs, and goats. Agriculture is a good educational activity. Children enjoy military men's company. They call them brother soldiers. Those military men not only taught the children agriculture, but also helped them build chicken coops, fish ponds, classrooms, toilets, and dormitories for their families. Smart TV is also a very important educational tool. I brought some smart TVs for temples. It is difficult to give TV to every household because we do not have enough money. Then started at novice schools, โรงเรียนพระปริยัติธรรม. The school teach Buddhist studies, Pali, Buddhist teaching, life of Lord Buddha, along with general education, just like any regular junior high and high school, grade 7 to 12. During the COVID situation, the novice schools are in the same fate as other schools. So we have to close the school. Novices have to leave their novice schools to go back to stay at the temples. What I could do was to buy smart TVs, install the needed program, and give them a lot of thumb drives containing numerous digital files of many subjects. I invited the monk and the lay teachers to visit these temples to teach until the novice schools are allowed to open. Not only the novices have the opportunity to study, the children who live nearby also come to the temples to study. I do the same thing for the Muslim private schools, both before and during the pandemic. Again, the important works are about hygiene and sanitation, nutrition, vocational education, and general education. During the pandemic, I contacted local health officers to give vaccines to Muslim private school teachers. Last year, I read a German newspaper called Die Zeit. There was a page inviting children from all over the world to paint and write about their ideas on COVID-19, the present situation, and what they thought that life would be after the pandemic, but how it affects their lives. I read the article too late to submit the work to the Thai children, so we organized a contest by ourselves, inviting the Thai children from different schools. For example, school run by the Ministry of Education, the school run by the Border Patrol policemen, private school, just a private Muslim school, or school run by the Bureau of Buddhism, by the local administration, and so on. I asked the children to submit their paintings and literary works. The result was very satisfactory. Next year, around February, I will organize the competition again. Not only the schools in Thailand that I have been engaged with, I also assisted some schools on 10 countries overseas, including schools in Southeast Asia, Mongolia and Bhutan, under World Food Program, and Bangladesh in cooperation with the government of Bangladesh. We work in the same way as our projects in Thailand, emphasizing health, sanitation, and general education. I have brought some students to study in Thailand. I usually visit these schools abroad and invite them to come to Thailand when we organize meetings, but it is not possible now, so we met online. For example, in Lao PDR, there are many educational activities that I do in Lao PDR. For example, there are short courses to train medical personnel. I also offer scholarship for Master of Science program in School Health International program at the Faculty of Tropical Medicine, Mahidol University. The scholarships are offered to teachers in the school we cooperate with. Many teachers graduated and wrote interesting theses. Another example in Lao PDR is the 67-kilometer school, which started as the place to nurture war orphans. 30 years ago, I built a dormitory for them through the cooperation with the Institute of Nutrition, Mahidol University, and Royal Irrigation Department. In the beginning, we emphasized agriculture and health, food processing, and vocational subjects. Later on, a few years ago, we started science and IT subjects. The program on library was to enhance the passion for reading, starting by building a library, receiving books in the national language and also English and Thai books to increase children's reading experience, reading and thinking ability, and love to explore. We have initiated a short-term education and cultural exchange project between Singaporean North Light School and 4 schools under the care of Thai Patana Foundation. Let me first explain about Thai Patana Foundation. The foundation was founded by my father, King Rama IX, more than 30 years ago as non-governmental organization for charity. We focused on development work in Thailand and other countries. The works are mainly small irrigation schemes and agricultural activities, plant production and animal husbandry, which include setting up seed and development center with integrated activities. Villages, farmer groups, school children, and military and police personnel can be trained here. Seeds of rice and vegetables and fruit trees, sapling are also distributed. Experts in plant breeding help create new cultivars. We try to promote organic agriculture according to GAP or good agriculture practice, and also good seed, good soil, and good water have to be considered. Northlight School is a Singaporean school founded in 2007 to help children who have difficulties studying in regular state schools. If they join the schools with national curricula, they may drop out. Some students have certain disabilities such as autism, and others have family problems. This school encourages lifelong education. Each year we send Thai children from 4 schools, 2 public schools, 2 Muslim private schools, Bonok or Bondok or Madrasa is what they are called. The teachers and the students take part in many activities. Thai students have their Singaporean buddies. Songs and dictionaries help a lot. We also invite Singaporean students to Thailand. They enjoy the trip very much. And some of the students, Thai students who have problem, when they have the chance of going to this school, they become more they have more self-confidence and can continue their study and have good job afterwards. In Bhutan, the school factories that I work on, this country can grow plants for only this country. Some place in this country can grow plants only 3 months a year. So it is very important to store food for consumption of the whole for the whole year, and to preserve food such as making fried potato chips or pickled vegetable. We implement this project in the schools in Thailand as well. Exchange between schools in Langkawi Island, Kedah, Malaysia, and Thai schools on islands in Satoon, in the southern part of Thailand, occurs in the projects like English Camp, teaching standard Malay language, network training for English teachers, science and environment studies at Langkawi Geopark in the karst landform. 2 schools were built in Cambodia, in Kampong Chertiel and Kampong Spur. In the beginning, these 2 schools were secondary schools. Now they are upgraded to the institutes for tertiary education. And the president of the institutes got their PhDs in Thailand. There are projects in agriculture, solar cells as teaching media in physics, and an archaeological site at Prasat Sambo Praikuk, pre-Angkorian temples near the school. And the students can act as guides for the travelers or tourists. There are some international activities such as the ICREATE International Convention on Rehabilitation Engineering and Assistive Technology, started from cooperation with Singapore Polytechnic and Nanyang University in assistive technology to help people with disabilities to be able to learn, enjoy themselves, and work like others. It organizes the annual international conference every year for many years, producing new research and innovations on rehabilitation engineering and assistive technology. But due to COVID-19 pandemic, the 2021 conference had been postponed to next year, possibly in Hong Kong. This year, in 2021, at first we thought that Thailand can could host the event, but unfortunately we have to postpone and get the floor to Hong Kong next year, and we may get back the conference in 2023. Another activities is GYSS, or Global Young Scientist Summit, started 8 years ago, organized by National Research Foundation of Singapore to create network between young scientists and accomplished scientists, not only Nobel Prize winner, but also experts in computer science, mathematics, and engineering are invited to meet young participants. There are winners of field medals and touring awards. This year, I could not join the online meeting due to the accident I had, and I need the operation, so I could not join the online meeting. But next year, I hope I can. 20 young scientists and 20 observers will be invited. The event will be online because of the COVID-19. In conclusion, I would like to say that despite the COVID-19 pandemic, life goes on, but perhaps the post-COVID life will not be the same. Not only children, but people at all ages have to study new knowledge and new skills to earn the living. The new normal of education, putting emphasis on nurturing creativity and giving services to society. I noticed that there are a lot of innovations, more and more from now on. If we are not talented enough to create new things, at least we should be able to use innovations. It is important to be creative and productive and learn how to benefit from what we create or produce and how it can contribute to society and humanity. The most important thing for now is to find the way to save yourself and others from COVID-19. Get the vaccines, pay attention to personal hygiene, sanitation, and public health. Be strict to the rules of social distancing, mask wearing, and hand washing is what I would like to say. My last word is protect oneself, protect others. Thank you very much for your attention.
And next, we would like to present the achievement and the stories of the teachers and their passions of the 2021 Princess Maha Chakri Award recipient.
What I'm doing is to build skill of the nation's youth. It's a personal drive for me to give back to the nation through years of experience in the field of hospitality. Seeing our students grow and being self-motivated within the programs. Seeing the graduates being skilled and employed in the industry or even being self-employed is a job satisfaction to me.
Assalamualaikum, are we ready?
I think Cikgu Pengeran Wahab is a very kind teacher. He is patient, he's passionate for his work, and he did most of the stuff for the school.
Cikgu Pengeran Wahab was my ex-instructor when I was a student here in 1998. Now pun he was my colleague sama-sama kerja. So he's a down to earth man. Jarang kami lihat dia pemarah, but very low profile person.
I think of all the years I've known him, he is such a very good character, very committed. Whenever you ask help from him, he's just always willing to help out.
Maybe one of the challenges is the communication, language barrier, and different learning needs. We use bilingual to ensure that our students are able to understand and apply their knowledge and skill.
He gives a lot of good advice, motivation, life experiences, tips and tricks, whether it's outside of the school or inside of the school as well. That's why we thank him for everything that he has done for us while we are here.
ជំរាបសួរខ្ញុំបាទឈ្មោះណនដារីគឺជាគ្រូបង្រៀនថ្នាក់ទី6នៅសាលាបឋមសិក្សាគួយមីលីទូបេដែលស្ថិតនៅក្នុងស្រុកកំពង់សៀមខេត្តកំពង់ចាមនៅក្នុងការបង្រៀននេះដែរគឺទាមទារមានការចូលរួមយ៉ាងសកម្មរវាងគ្រូនិងសិស្សដូចជាការរៀបចំតុបតែងថ្នាក់រៀនឲ្យមានភាពទាក់ទាញក្នុងការបង្រៀនហើយមានការធ្វើការពិសោធន៍ជាក់ស្ដែងការធ្វើជាការងារក្រុមយ៉ាងសកម្មហើយនឹងមានការបញ្ចូលល្បែងសិក្សាផងដែរពិសេសនោះគឺមានការបង្រៀនគឺប្រើប្រាស់នៅបច្ចេកវិទ្យានេះគឺជាសកម្មភាពខ្លះៗនៅក្នុងការបង្រៀនមុខវិជ្ជាគណិតវិទ្យា
ហើយក្នុងការបង្រៀនរបស់គាត់ដែរគាត់ចេះច្នៃប្រឌិតការបង្រៀនគឺគាត់បង្រៀននៅក្នុងថ្នាក់គាត់នាំសិស្សសិក្សាស្រាវជ្រាវនៅក្រៅថ្នាក់ក្នុងនោះដែរក្រៅពីនេះលោកគ្រូក៏បានចេះចែករំលែកបទពិសោធន៍ល្អៗទៅដល់លោកគ្រូអ្នកគ្រូដែលនៅក្នុងសាលា
ឯនេះគឺជាសកម្មភាពជួយពួកគេក្នុងការរាតត្បាតនៃជំងឺ Covid-19 ដោយការបង្កើតវីដេអូរបស់ក្រសួងអប់រំយុវជននិងកីឡាដោយផ្ដល់ឲ្យពួកគេសិក្សានៅផ្ទះចំពោះសិស្សដែលពុំមានទូរស័ព្ទទំនើបដើម្បីសិក្សាក៏មានការចុះចែកនៅសញ្ញាកិច្ចការនិងបញ្យល់ពួកគេពីរបៀបរៀនផងដែរ
ហើយចំណែកលោកគ្រូដែលទទួលបានពានរង្វាន់សម្ដេចចៅហ្វាចក្រីនេះគឺវាមានសារៈសំខាន់ណាស់ចំពោះលោកគ្រូអ្នកគ្រូដទៃទៀតព្រោះថាជាលក្ខណៈឆ្លុះបញ្ចាំងមួយដើម្បីឲ្យលោកគ្រូអ្នកគ្រូផ្សេងទៀតគាត់យកសម្រាប់តាមអ្វីដែលសំខាន់នោះគឺនៅក្នុងស្រុកឬក៏ក្រៅស្រុកទួលអបអរសាទរនឹងជ័យជំនះរបស់លោកគ្រូបាទ
Ketika profesi guru telah menjadi pilihan, maka sejak itulah saya memberikan hati pada dunia pendidikan. Saat hati telah saya labuhkan, maka pengabdian adalah sebagai wujud implementasinya. Dalam tiap aktivitas tentu berkaitan dengan peluang dan tantangan. Tantangan yang ada dalam mengajar, saya jadikan sebagai peluang untuk membuat karya inovasi pembelajaran. Adapun yang menjadi tantangan saya dalam membantu proses belajar siswa adalah rendahnya motivasi belajar siswa.
Bu Hoiria sering membimbing kami di luar materi pembelajaran, seperti menulis cerita pendek dan membuat puisi. Ini membuat kami bangga atas prestasi kami.
Ibu Khairiyah adalah kepribadian yang asik sebagai teman curhat. Ibu Khairiyah mau mendengarkan masalah kami dan memberikan solusi.
Kemudian saya menganggap beliau ini adalah seorang ibu saya karena mengajari saya secara pribadi.
Saya terinspirasi oleh Ibu Khairiyah sehingga saya ingin melanjutkan pendidikan ke jenjang yang lebih tinggi yaitu jenjang S2.
Saya sebagai kepala sekolah mendorong dan memotivasi langkah beliau dalam ikut serta pengembangan sekolah. Saya juga merasa bangga karena beliau telah aktif dalam proses pengembangan sekolah dan mengajak rekan-rekan sejawat untuk berperan aktif di dalam mengembangkan inovasi pembelajaran.
ความสำคัญของการศึกษามีภาระบทบาทสูงซึ่งครูเป็นผู้ที่ถ่ายทอดความรู้ความสามารถให้แก่น้องนักเรียนเพื่อการพัฒนาให้นักเรียนเป็นผู้สืบทอดที่ก้าวหน้าในอนาคตนับเป็นภาษาเนี่ยเป็นอะไรเส้นจะลายเป็นอะไรการตั้งใจของมันลายบ่ลาย
ก็รู้สึกว่าอาจารย์สอนได้แบบว่าม่วนหลายแฮปฟันถ้าพวกเขาแบบมีกิจกรรมมีห้องเพลงอีกแล้วอาจารย์ท่านสอนตัวจริงมันจะได้เขาจะได้ฮู้เลยแล้วก็มันเขาได้บทเรียนไปพร้อม
สังเกตเบิ่งน้ำกันเด้อเป็นครูพระเจ้านะ
อย่างวันนี้มันเลี้ยวใช่เลี้ยว
เบิ่งเด้อที่พื้นกับ
การสอนทุกครั้งอาจารย์จะเปิดโอกาสและช่วยเหลือนักเรียนให้นักเรียนมีความสนใจในการเรียนฟิสิกส์โดยเฉพาะน้องเองก็ได้เป็นลูกศิษย์คนหนึ่งที่ได้เรียนและสอนนั้นอาจารย์แสงเพชรซึ่งได้รับการช่วยเหลือและใกล้ชิดจากอาจารย์ตลอดมา
อาจารย์แสงเพชรก็เป็นอาจารย์หนึ่งที่มีการสอนและก็ประสบการณ์สูงเนาะสมควรแล้วที่จะเป็นแบบอย่างให้ครูอาจารย์เฮาภายในทั่วประเทศก็สามารถติดต่อเพิ่นแล้วก็มาเอาวิธีการแล้วก็ไปใส่ในโรงเรียนตัวเองก็เป็นการดีที่สุด
นางแสงเพชรคุณประเสริฐสมแล้วเนาะได้เป็นครูผู้ที่ห้าวหันขบวนการเรียนการสอนเนาะเพื่อเป็นตัวแทนของคนลาวเนาะเข้าร่วมรับรางวัลพระราชทานเจ้าฟ้ามหาจักรีครั้งที่4เนี่ยที่ประเทศไทยเนาะแต่สันข้าพเจ้าผมในการโรงเรียนขอขอบใจเนาะ
Cikgu Nur Helmi bin Abdul Muttalib dan saya merupakan guru mata pelajaran sains di SMK Jerlun Kedah. Sebenarnya pendekatan bila saya mengajar pelajar ni saya suka pelajar saya buat aktiviti hands on sebab saya percaya kalau dengan buat aktiviti hands on ni dia akan minds on jugalah. Jadi saya sentiasa terapkan pembelajaran yang orang kata apa pelajar buat eksperimen, pelajar pergi buat eksplorasi dan juga kadang-kadang kita orang pergi siap buat kajian lapangan.
He comes with a complete package. He actually creates an opportunity of his students as well as to teachers at this school to explore.
My students are always my biggest inspiration to become a good.
Bukan sekadar mengajar di sekolah, malahan memberi satu yang baru kepada masyarakat. Mudah-mudahan dengan adanya Cikgu Helmi yang banyak membantu ni, masyarakat akan mendapat satu ilmu yang baru.
But I do believe if a child is given equal opportunities, they also can excel and succeed in their life. I could see the little me inside each of them, and this makes me want to do more. PMCA is totally not about me and also myself, but a huge recognition for all Malaysian teachers. PMCA, thank you so much.
My school is located in northern Shan State, which is colorful with different ethnic groups, so each of the students is unique. My teaching is mostly based on student activity, so as to participate themselves and to develop their 21st century skill. So I always find different teaching methods and new teaching styles to teach them effectively and efficiently and to improve their English skill. I encourage the students to read in their leisure time. Sometimes I take them to the school library and we read and we discuss together. As a co-curricular activity, I teach my students Myanmar traditional dance so as to value and preserve Myanmar culture. I guide my students to participate in agricultural activities. This aims them to develop life skills. For better students, for better society, for better community and for better country, we learn together, we value each other. Long live education.
I'm doing what I do because I believe life is a service. Living with this principle, I was able to initiate and organize different programs, projects, and activities in my school and community. The challenges that I meet with helping students is how to complement their diverse needs in the classroom. Aside from that, the increasing dropout in our school and to give them physical environment which is conducive to learning. So these so far are the main challenges that I face in helping our students.
He conducted the training not because of anything else, but you can see the joy of seeing the students, the teachers learning computer through the trainings that he conducted.
If we only have the courage, if we only know the need, then I think we can make a big difference.
I'm passionate about teaching and nurturing children. Knowing that I play an important role in shaping my students' character and helping them acquire the skills and dispositions for the future inspires me. Education is also about giving hope, having students develop their strengths and helping them envision possibilities of the future.
Jumeng is entrusted with various key positions in school and also leads the English Language and Social Studies department. He demonstrates organizational excellence and a robust ability to harmonize the different needs of various teams.
As a leader, he gives us room and freedom to experiment and innovate. When there are mistakes or room for improvement, he steps in to encourage us and discuss possible solutions. He also sets the department's direction by highlighting key pedagogies and strategies. He ensures that the teachers are well equipped to carry them out by supporting them through his regular sharing during department meetings.
At the same time, I will equip myself with a deeper understanding of blended learning in order to effectively develop others.
Marçal ocupa cargo diretor e a escola EBC 01 Tirilolobocau e a início Timor ukungang maito o Lorong. Durante nia mandato, nia implementa disciplina positivo, zero violência, serviço pontual, controla plano lição professor, molok hanoring e a classe. Ia nia vida profissional, Vicente Marçal, além de assumir a diretor escola, nia mos haloknar hanoring alunusira, coordenador professor ciência no matemática e a região leste, nebe composto Husi município Baucau, Los Palos no município Manufahi. Além de ne, niamos ativo e a atividade extracurricular Sira, Hanesang, estabelece dramben tradicional moradores, nebe nia koko hahu implementa e a escola hori promove, continua a belar ba e a geração fong Sira atu hatene.
Ya, me siento contento y los estamos director sin el primer premio. Ya, a mí me sin premio, a mí cargo de escuela en Uribatang hoy.
Nah, untuk ami rona informasi ami direktor atau simu prêmio ami orgulho teve tambah atau emang sira nebe for prêmio ne mai hari ami escola para au pelo fonetik ajuda rumah para udah komplit ami escola tambah ami escola sei falta barap.
When I was a little kid, my mom took me to the village to watch a movie named The Mountain School. The movie is about a teacher who goes beyond the role of a teacher, that I really want to become a teacher. I recognize education is the most powerful weapon to change the world here. I teach English, and for me, teaching English, that means teaching a new world. It is a new culture. That's the reason why in my English lessons, I often implement many teaching methods to develop my students. I have conducted many projects with my students, and we have achieved a lot of achievements. And I do love my jobs.
I have learned with her since I was a little girl. At that time, she was teaching for free for the kids in the village. And then she made us change step by applying her teaching methods. We do love the activities of her English club and learning projects. For me, she's an influencer. I used to be a very shy girl, but when I met Mrs. Phượng, she changed me completely. I really enjoy her global connection lesson because I can practice with teachers and friends. And so I'm become more and more confident and motivated to learn English. I'm so lucky to meet her, and for me, she's like an inspirational message.
เขาประสบความสำเร็จเขาไปช่วยคนอื่นอันนี้คือสิ่งที่เราได้รับ
บางพัดเนี่ยเป็นหมู่บ้านที่กันดารและยากจนที่สุดของจังหวัดพังงาหลังจากสึนามิไม่มีอาชีพที่7สึนามิพอที่8เริ่มทำผมสตรีแต่ทำไม่เป็นพอที่9ลูกสาวได้ไปเรียนด้วยอาจารย์ประทิน
ฉันต้องได้ความรู้ฉันต้องเอากลับมาพัฒนาหมู่บ้านของฉันมาเลี้ยงครอบครัวฉันให้ได้
คือตั้งเป้าหมายอย่างเดียวว่าอยากเป็นครูไม่อยากเป็นครูเราก็ต้องเป็นครูก็ช่วยให้คนคนหนึ่งเนี่ยประสบความสำเร็จได้อะคนคนหนึ่งเนี่ยมีหน้าที่การงานหรืออะไรก็แล้วแต่เนี่ยคือหน้าที่ครู
ตลอดระยะเวลากว่า30ปีของครูประทินเลี่ยนจำรูนได้ถ่ายทอดมาถึงลูกศิษย์รุ่นสู่รุ่นด้วยสิ่งที่ทุกคนพูดตรงกันคือครูพาทำและครูทำเป็นแบบอย่าง
ว่าเราเป็นลูกศิษย์เขามาก่อนก็จะภูมิใจในตัวครูมากแล้วก็ภูมิใจที่วันนี้เขาชวนเรากลับมาทำตรงเนี้ยเพื่อสังคม
คือสอนเด็กดีให้เป็นเด็กดีเนี่ยมันทำง่ายแต่ถ้าเราสอนเด็กที่ไม่ดีให้เป็นคนดีได้เนี่ยอันนี้คือครูเราต้องเปลี่ยนชีวิตเขาให้ได้
Your Royal Highness, we have now the 11th Princess Maha Chakri Award recipient of 2021 live online with us from 10 countries. For Your Royal Highness to have a conversation with them. May it please Your Royal Highness.
First of all, I would like to congratulate all of you who received the award. And it's a pity that I don't have the opportunity to meet any of you in person because of the pandemic. But I thought that perhaps the next year or the next 2 years, if the situation improve, I may have the opportunity to go to your respective countries again and visit the schools. In fact, I often go to these schools in ASEAN and also Timor Leste, but it is very difficult now, and sometimes your schools is far away from the capital. And in fact, I think I will try to visit as many schools as I can, because I think you all have the way of teaching, and which we can learn a lot from you. And I have been to a school, a Thai school in a remote area, and to my surprise, one teacher who got the Princess Maha Chakri Award taught at the school online, and the students who are mostly indigenous students enjoy the teaching from their I think that was the Malaysia or Indonesian teacher, and they study science, so we can have our own student learn and have more motivation in learning because we have they have new teachers, and this is very useful for the future of everybody's country. And so I would like to congratulate you, and I hope to work with all of you in the near future. Thank you very much.
And if Your Royal Highness would like to ask any of questions or addressing to any of the teachers, we also have a translation in some of the languages, and I myself will be the moderator, Her Royal Highness.
This is all the same because I hope that your group of recipients will have the opportunity to visit our country and visit some of our schools, and so you can exchange idea with the teachers in Thailand who teach more or less the same subjects. Then they will maybe all of us will have the new method of working. This time is very hard to.
Your Royal Highness, next year around this time, there is the PMCA forum of which Your Royal Highness normally presides, and Your Royal Highness may, I think we'll meet them in person and talk to them. I think they will be pleased if they can have a conversation with Your Highness, and they would share with Your Highness what they have done. I think that's the occasion that we look forward to. I hope that by that time, I think traveling between ASEAN and Timor-Leste would be permitted, Your Royal Highness.
Your Royal Highness, some interesting observation for the teacher this year is that some of them are science teachers, some of them are English, some of them work very close with the community, and the vocational education teacher have become more involved. The other interesting point from the PMCA recipient 2021 this year is, as Your Royal Highness noticed, they are very young. Some of them are age 29 or 28 or 30, and this shows that the countries in Southeast Asia see that the new generation of teachers, the global mindset that these teachers can provide to the new generation is very important. The other interesting perspective from the opportunity that the foundation have discussed with them online before the award ceremony is that they're dedicated and very committed. Particularly, they are coming from the minority group. For example, from Vietnam, Ms. Phượng, she's also the minority group herself, or Mr. Sean Derry from Cambodia. He's also coming from the minority community themselves. So they want to dedicate their experience and use themselves as the role model. For example, Mr. Jo Sin Mong from Myanmar, his teaching techniques also provide use himself as a role model for his students in Myanmar to learn English. Many of the techniques that we found are very interesting and very good innovation, like Your Royal Highness mentioned earlier, particularly in the COVID context. For example, in Brunei, Mr. Penghiran Wahab, he also mentioned that the way he explained the teacher, he wants to know more about them. He finds what are their needs so that he can talk to them and teach them more. And many of them have addressed the students' context closely, and that has become the uniqueness of the awardee of Princess Maha Chakri Award recipient 2021. Thank you very much, Your Royal Highness.
Well, just when I started teaching, I'm just a few years older than my students. Or I recognize one of the students that I used to. There's a person that I used to play with. But in fact, later on now, I'm the same age as their grandmother. So things change, and I think it doesn't matter how old we are, and if we still have passion to teach it, I think we can contribute to the knowledge of the students, and so that's why I have to congratulate you again that you have the experience since you were young, and then later on, maybe in a few decades, you will still teach and find something new to add to the students' knowledge, or you get some knowledge from the new generation, because sometimes if we are older, sometimes we have different ideas from the younger generation that we can learn from them. So I think that's why I think if we can meet face to face, we can exchange our idea better, because now I'm the generation that I usually meet people face to face. The teaching equipment or medias or books or to students at home, because now what I was trying even before the pandemic is to share the knowledge to community. So it is not only schools that provide the knowledge, but schools will provide community with some knowledge. For example, the knowledge on some works such as agriculture or health, public health, sanitation, or we have the subjects of cooperative and making accounting, because some family sells things, but they don't have they haven't tried writing down what they gain or what they have to pay. Then this is some kind of knowledge that is knowledge from school to the community, whereas some of the people in the village, they have, we call them the local sage or local wisdom that can come to teach students in our school, and they exchange the knowledge like this just before the pandemic. And during the pandemic, this method is very useful. And during this pandemic, do you have to go to the children's school, home, or they have to? How can you exchange the knowledge, and how can you teach the students, or it is very difficult to teach online, but it is better than nothing, so that children can get some knowledge if they can. They have the equipment, or sometimes if the teacher can put their homework on the paper, or what kind of thing they do. Any teachers use this method, in any method during the pandemic?
So in the questions that asks, and if any of you would like to respond on the 4 points that Her Royal Highness would like to ask is, do you have any teaching techniques?
Your Royal Highness, Her Royal Highness, what you tell us a few weeks ago. Please tell Her Royal Highness what you have done.
Yes.
Exactly what you told us a few weeks ago.
Yes. You can raise your hand if you want to share, and then...
Shall we start with the youngest or the most senior? Pengiran, can you try Pengiran from Brunei Darussalam? Her Royal Highness asks, what do you do during this COVID pandemic so that you can get in touch with the students? Thank you.
Given to us for the recipient, as a recipient. Okay, we continue our classes as online, as normal as other schools or other countries did for the online. We have a group or team of instructors observing our teaching during the online classes as well, just to improve where is our weakness during the online classes. It's quite difficult. The challenges is the data itself. The data is quite very high in volume. So sometimes the students, when we teach, suddenly the link is out of range. The data is finished. So that is the challenges. But we carry on. If we cannot do the online, we just send them the resources to them, whether using WhatsApp or we email to them wherever they can receive the information. That's what we did to secure and continue our teaching during this very difficult time. That's it, Your Highness.
Thank you very much.
Ask another recipient, Your Highness. I have to balance between the genders. Now perhaps I could ask Mrs. Ha Van Heung from Vietnam if you can inform Her Royal Highness what you have been doing during this COVID pandemic. Miss Ha Van Heung from Vietnam.
Mountainous area in Vietnam, and most students from my school are ethnic minorities students, and I am an ethnic minority too. And during the COVID-19 pandemic, my school have conducted the blended method that combine the in-person education and online education. And for my class, I do believe that student-centered as the best way. So all the teaching methods, I concentrate on this kind of thing, like the borderless classroom model, which enables my students to connect with the different schools and from different countries, including Thailand. And so far, my classroom has connected with over 50 countries in the world. And this is a great opportunity for my students to not only for the English language, but their intercultural awareness and confidence and many soft skills that can boost them to be a global citizen and gain more 21st century skills. And I'm humble and I treasure this moment. Thank you so much for giving me such a great honor for being a part of PMCA Award. And this, I will take this diamond opportunity to build up the teaching quality and open the relationship with the South with the other teachers in the world and the PMCA families to bring more value to the community. Thank you. Thank you so much.
กี่นาทีเพื่ออะไรนะจะมีเวลากี่นาที
ก็คงจะประมาณนี้
So that we would like to end the conversation with Her Royal Highness with some special quotes from these teachers. Some of the special quotes that the teacher of pre-MCA, the 2021, have inspired us all is, education is the most powerful weapon. That's from Vietnam. Good education starts with good teachers, from Malaysia. Life as a teacher is a service, from the Philippines. Students are my teachers, from Brunei. I will do everything from my country, from Timor-Leste. Teachers are key players in country development, from Myanmar. And last, bring the world to our students, from Singapore. Thank you very much, Your Royal Highness. May it please Your Royal Highness.
So, thank you very much, everybody, and hope to see you again.